and welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your day, 10x your life, and all of us 10x Springfield. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10x coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, we are coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in beautiful downtown Springfield. You are listening to Separation Saturdays on Elevate Springfield, where you can separate yourself from the competition every Saturday morning. We're going to get started after the break. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. And we are back on Separation Saturday. So today, I wanted to go through with you a training called the 10X Professional that we do as part of our coaching group. We have dozens and dozens of coaching tracks that we can take folks through to help them 10X their lives personally and professionally and financially. So, hey, just want to go over one of those today. The training we have, the 10X Professional, is really for anybody. It's not specific to any one industry. It can be utilized no matter what your job is, whether you're an entrepreneur or you are an employee for somebody else. What we're going to learn about in here is applicable to many, many different industries and job types. So as you know by now, I'm a 10X certified coach, speaker, and mentor. A lot of the content we have that we deliver on a daily basis is through Grant Cardone. And Grant Cardone, if you don't know him, he's an internationally renowned speaker on leadership, real estate, investing, entrepreneurship, social media, finance. He's a billionaire. He's been number one on the Forbes list of 25 marketing influencers to watch. His privately held companies have annual revenues in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And he's used these strategies to build those companies, build his empire, and build his billion-dollar net worth. So today, the outcomes of this course, the goals of the 10X Professional, are fourfold. One, I'm going to show you the basics for creating a bulletproof mindset for success. Number two, I want to teach you specific daily habits and activities to ensure you're always working towards your true potential. Number three, provide areas for overcoming challenges in every area of your life. And number four, hey, make you the most positive person in the room. Along the way today, I'm going to invite you to dig into some exercises designed to help you apply the material to your own life and career. So by the time you finish up this episode, you're going to have a solid foundation for creating massive 10X success in every area of your life, no matter what is going on outside of you. So hey, while you're listening today, listen actively, take notes, participate in those exercises when I give you some questions to work on. They will help you out. They will help you 10x. And then afterwards, commit to teaching at least one thing you learned today to somebody around you, whether that's in your business or in your family. We're going to go over a lot of different things today, 10 parts to the 10X professional that you all can use in your lives. Part 1 is potential. Research shows that motivation can influence not just the activity level of an individual, but also how they feel about themselves and even their sense of well-being. So how do you motivate people to work harder? Say if you're a manager, how do you motivate people to be more efficient, be more effective, right? How do you motivate without just giving people money, which are typically short-lived incentives? They work great, but they're typically short-lived incentives so that they're in action all the time. We at 10X, we want to be in massive action all the time. And how do you motivate yourself? So that's what we're getting into here with potential. So first part of that is working towards your potential, not some specific quota that's just made up, right? The most successful people don't operate on their quotas. They operate off their potential. A quota, after all, is pretty random. It's just based on somebody picking it because that's what other people have done compared to other people in the industry or in the company. That doesn't say anything about what you are capable of. I know my potential. Nobody else really knows my potential, and you know yours. So commit to working to that potential, not just to a quota or some random target, to your potential. And that'll help you stay motivated day in and day out. So next, shoot for extraordinary. First thing we can do here to shoot for extraordinary is make a list of the top 5 greatest people in any field. And you'll see these people were shooting for something big, giant, extraordinary, something more than just average or ordinary, above and beyond the call to duty, so to speak. You need to do the same. Aim above and beyond, not like what everybody else is doing, not the quotas they're hitting, not the money they're making, not the marriage they have, not the life they have, something more, all right? You may not hit all your goals or any of them up front, but shooting for extraordinary will keep you excited, motivated, and driven. Ordinary never gets anybody excited. Average never gets anybody excited. That's why you got to aim higher. Anybody that's great at anything, look at the metrics of an industry and know that they can beat them. And they refuse to compare themselves to just the average results of other people around them. They push themselves internally to performance beyond what anybody else in the marketplace has attained. And you can do the same for yourself. Go for the extra mile, even after you've satisfied basic requirements. Right? Add 10% to everything. How many of you guys work out every morning? Maybe you do push-ups every morning or something, just a basic workout. And you plan for 20. Why not go 22, 25, 27, right? Go the extra mile even after you've satisfied basic requirements. So just doing little things like that, adding 10%, adding a little bit more to some of those basic things is going to give you discipline to do it in the bigger things too, because you're not doing it for your boss, you're not doing it for your client, you're not doing it for any customers, you're not doing it for the people around you, you're doing it for you, right? When you go above and beyond, when you go the extra mile, it sets you apart from everybody else, going to bring in more opportunity for you, and it's going to drive discipline in you and motivation at that. Next, do what others refuse to do. A lot of people say, hey, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's true to a degree, I guess, if you want to say that. But really, a lot of us have to do things we do not like or even things we hate, things that nobody else wants to do, because that's where opportunity lies. There's opportunity in those niches. There's opportunity in those areas that other people won't mess with. So be willing to get your hands dirty. Be willing to go places other people refuse to go. It's going to motivate you, inspire you, and then bonus, the people around you. You're like, man, this guy's on fire. Not sure what I'm going to do with him. It's going to potentially intimidate a little bit, but do what others refuse to do. Next, be willing to fail. Knowing failure is really impossible, right? Here's what I mean by that. The only way you can truly fail is if you give up or if you quit. That means you can go into any situation knowing that what you used to think of as failure is no longer possible. because failure is impossible if you're still in the game, pushing, striving, trying to make things happen. If you're dreaming big and you're going for the big play and you don't stop, you're not going to fail. Now, of course, there's going to be some times where the outcome is not what you desired or what you imagined it would be. That doesn't necessarily mean you failed. In fact, as long as you keep trying, you can't fail. It's impossible. Let failure inspire you. Get encouraged and fueled by it. When your outcome doesn't match your goal, resolve to prepare more, to work harder, to analyze your performance, make adjustments. When it happens, and it will happen to everyone at some point, fail forward. Let it move you forward. It's going to be a great educational experience for you. Next, be the most dependable person you know. When you become that most dependable person and other people know that, your confidence is going to be unbelievable. I want people to know, hey, they can call me for this. Maybe they don't know the answer to something. They call me because they know I'm going to be able to get that for them, right? Or they know if I say I'm going to do something, it's going to get done, right? You want your family, your colleagues, your customers to be able to depend on you and know that you're consistent and trustworthy. People need to be able to depend on you in a big way. And you need to know that about yourself. You need to hold yourself accountable and don't rely on anyone else to push you or tell you what to do. If there's anything in your life that you're doing that causes you to think you're not dependable, that's going to lower your motivation. The more dependable you are with yourself and with your commitments, the more motivated you're going to be. So be dependable to yourself too. I mean, I talk a lot about my workout routine. I do not miss my workout routine. That is one way I am dependable to myself every single day. And you can do the same thing with your actions, with your things that you're doing every day. And speaking of actions, we need to let people know we are unique by our actions. What actions are you taking right now that set you apart from everyone else? Look at ways to stand out, add value, that offer a unique advantage because they work with you or because they want your service or product, right? So here, as an example, let's say you meet someone and as soon as that meeting's over, you send them a text that says, "Great meeting you today." It's a unique action. Not a lot of people do it. What typically happens is a day or two later, you might send that person an email saying, "Hey, great to meet you, blah, blah, blah." But if you send that text immediately after, "Great to meet you, looking forward to seeing how we can collaborate, how we can partner," that's unique. Not everybody does that, right? So start thinking about even the little things, how you can set yourself apart by your actions and be unique in the marketplace. It will definitely keep you motivated and get you on the road to 10X. Give more than is expected of you. This is a main tenet of 10X. Give, give, give. Give more than is expected of you in every situation and every encounter. You want to exchange with people in ways that are abundant, so overwhelming that they're like, "Hey, this is awesome. You are giving so much. You are giving so much," right? Doesn't mean you're, giving money away. Doesn't mean you're giving your product or your service away. It just means you are giving so much value and giving of yourself that people will want to do business with you more, quite frankly. So give enthusiasm, give energy, give ideas. Tell people, "Hey, let me be there for you. How can I help?" Give, 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 and it will keep you motivated and help you out in the long run by bringing you more opportunity. So part one, potential. That's what we just talked about. Couple of quick exercises. Let's start with this one here. Where are 5 areas where you could be more dependable? This could be in your personal life or in your professional life. Where are 5 areas that you could be more dependable? And after you write those 5 things down, what's a battle plan? How are you going to tackle these? How are you going to address these 5 things? How are you going to increase that dependability, right? So next, what are your current targets? These could be your targets, your goals in your personal or professional life. Do you think you have potential to do more than that? How much more? Be honest with yourself here. Are your current targets, are your current goals small? Do you know you can do better than that? Write that down. What is your current target? What is your current goal? And if you think your potential is more. If your potential is more and you know it is and odds are it is, right? What are we going to do to work towards your potential rather than an average target? All right, part 2 of the 10X Professional, personal development. The best and most secure investment you can ever make is in yourself. You are the only thing you can always count on, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can ensure you're always raising the bar on your own potential and possibilities through personal development. So first thing you can do, get in a mastermind group of winners. So get in a group of people that meets at least once a week, that are people who want to expand and blow up. Great people surround themselves with overachievers and greatness and exceptionalism, and they make little time for others, right? We all know that if you take the 5 closest people around you that you spend the most time with, you're going to be the average of those 5. So you should always be looking for new friends, reaching a new level. I mean, quite frankly, if you want to avoid good, you got to be around great. Do you want to be exceptional? You have to avoid being around average. You want to go grab people who know more, who are doing more, who have more, who are creating more, and are dreaming bigger, right? These people can teach you. They're going to be fuel, motivation, and inspiration for you. So, hey, start a mastermind group, and it will definitely help you on the way to 10X. Next thing you could do, read a book a week. Most people barely read 1 book a year. So my challenge would be 52 books or training programs a year. I modify that goal a little bit for myself sometimes. So it's 52 books or training programs. You know, the top CEOs in America read over 63 books on average per year. So these are the highest paid, most successful CEOs in the country. When the average person only reads 1 or less, there's a pretty big disconnect there. So if you're willing to read 52 books a year, that's going to give you a huge advantage over the average person. So try to do that. Read a book a week. Next thing you can do, cut out negative people. Talked about this a lot. This is super important. Make a list of your friends, family, people you're living with, people you work with, employees, clients, everybody, right? It's absolutely no way that everyone on that list is good for you. So let's cut out the negative people. Treat negative people, negative comments, negative statements like the plague. So one of the first things you can do when you're not feeling energized, figure out who is around you that's giving you, that's taken you from you, that, you know, like a positivity thief, right? So negative people are contagious, just like positive people are contagious. So negativity will drain you. So you got to get those negative people out of your life, because it's going to kill your motivation, and motivation is going to be key for you to be 10X. Hey, stay uncomfortable and meet new people. We talk a lot about going to events and different things with our guests over the past month or so. You know, everybody's going to those networking events for the same reason. Everybody's going to connections, try to find partnerships, trying to do business, trying to find collaboration points, right? So stay uncomfortable. Go walk up to people, meet new people, see what you can do to collaborate. Everybody's there for the same reason. So even if you're introverted, extrovert yourself and go in there and make some connections. So go to the chamber events, go to the local first events, go to the church events, go to the school events, become involved in local politics if you need to, industry associations, all these things. Stay uncomfortable, meet new people. Surround yourself with positive reminders. I'm sitting in my office right now recording this podcast. I've got a number of things around me. I've got my 10X rule book right next to me. I've got some other books by Grant Cardone over here. I've got some quotes on the wall. I've got my "You Are Greatness, Don't Fight It" picture next to me. I've got a lot of Disney pictures up here. I'm a big Disney fan. It's been a great place for my family to go on vacation and have these bonding moments, but I also really appreciate the way the company was built and the way they create immersive experiences for people. You know, so I've got my 2 pictures of Walt Disney up here where his quotes, you know, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. Imagination has no age. I've got my 10X quotes over here as well. So surround yourself with positive reminders. Put those things around you. They will help motivate you and help keep you positive throughout the day. Also ask those more successful than you for guidance. All right. This is a little bit different than the mastermind group I was talking about. This is more of a mentor type situation, right? Somebody that's had some success, particularly in something that you're trying to do. You know, ask for some time. Ask for a lunch with them. Just ask them questions and then listen. Do more listening than talking. And then see what they have to say and how they can help you along your path. Understand that their time is precious, but take advantage of that time. Take advantage of that advice that they can give you, use it, execute on it, and thank them for it. Then make continued and regular investments in yourself. Like we talked about, the only safe payback on any investment is you. The best investment is not real estate. It's not stocks. It's not gold. It's not crypto. It's you. You want to make continued and regular investments in the best thing you got going for you, which is you. New ideas, new techniques, new technologies, new strategies. It's going to create motivation for you. You're going to be developed through your education and be able to hone and add tools of your craft. The greats in anything know that education is vital to be having that competitive edge. So each year, go out and go to conferences. Take advantages of PD opportunities right here in Springfield. We have a number of them. There's a lot of stuff we can do at Big Dog Coaching to help you along that way too. We have coaching and we have PD opportunities for you to learn and grow as well. Next, avoid those who don't assume responsibility for every outcome. We've talked a lot about how things don't happen to you, they happen because of you. Take responsibility for everything. And we want to be hanging around people that do the same. If you're around people that don't assume responsibility, don't accept the responsibility, at some point they're going to be pointing the finger at you. So let's just go ahead and avoid those people. Don't try to convince them to be responsible. Don't preach to them. Don't even need to have the conversation. Just avoid those who refuse to accept responsibility. All right. And then seek to be exceptional in every area of your life. The 10X mindset, you want to be exceptional in your health, your wealth, your relationships, all of it. So you want to throw balance out the window. We don't have to be balanced. We don't want balance. We want to be great in all areas. Doesn't mean we're greedy, but it is the difference between successful and average. Successful people, really successful people say, hey, I want it all. I want everything. I want to be exceptional in every area. Average people settle, and we don't want to be average, right? So seek to be exceptional in every area of your life. So a couple of quick exercises regarding part 2 here, regarding personal development. So start here. How many books are you reading, or how much training are you doing in a given month? Go ahead and write that down. How much training are you doing in a month? How many books you're reading every month? Then, if it's 0, write down 0. 0 is a number, right? So after you do that, write down at least one more book that you could start this week, that you could start tackling, that's going to be related to your personal development or your professional development. And what trainings could you participate in, or what events could you go to over the next month? Start looking at the calendars of those associations and see where you can plug in over the next month. If you want help with that, you can always reach out to me. I'd be happy to give you some of the events that are coming up, and I'd be happy to show you some training that would help you out along the way as well. So you can check me out on social, reach out that way, and we can get you started down the road of 10X. All right, part 3, time management. Really, we're not wanting to manage time in 10X. We're wanting to control time. So let's look for ways that you can control time rather than manage it. We all have the same amount of time. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have 168 hours in a week. But it's how you control that time that determines how much you're going to be able to get done, and really the quality of your life. So when you control time, you're in charge, and that's where you want to be. When you say you're managing time, you're not really in charge, right? Time is in control of you. You want to be in control of time rather than managing time. So what are some things we could do? I would encourage you to schedule your day in 15-minute blocks. A lot of people schedule their days out by their mornings or their afternoons or half-hour blocks or hour blocks. Let's schedule it all the way down to 15-minute blocks and do everything you can do to get as much done as you can in those 15 minutes. Let's see what happens here. Do that when you're working out. Do that when you're spending time with your family. Do that when you're with clients, when you're trying to get paperwork, administrative stuff done. Chunk it down to 15 minutes and see how much you can get knocked out. Try that and see how much you can get done and how motivated you feel because of it. You want to make sure you're making quality time for everything. To be exceptional in every area of life, you have to make time. You have to control time in a way that you have time for your professional responsibilities, but also your personal responsibilities, your home life. There's a lot of people out there that make a ton of money, but have no quality of life with their family or friends. Or the flip side, there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of time with their family and friends, but no money, right? You kind of want it all. I know I do. So how do you get that? You got to make quality time for your family every day. And then you also have to be intentional with your time on the professional side too. So to that end, you got to start keeping statistics on everything important. That time you're spending, workouts, money, clients, follow-up, calls, emails, anything that generates any value and is important, right? And if it generates value, it is important, needs to be tracked. Keeping statistics allows you to be logical, unemotional. You don't want to just trust what somebody's saying. You want to know. And if you have statistics, you know that. So keep statistics on everything that's important to you. This gets you out of confusion. If things aren't going the way you want, you know what you need to adjust to get back in control. That will keep you excited, keep you focused. When you're measuring yourself, you're going to be held accountable by you. So make sure statistics are kept on everything important. GC always says if you want to meet the devil, have some white space in the calendar. All right. So I would encourage you to have a full calendar. If you want to stay motivated, keep that calendar packed. Not just those 15-minute blocks I talked about, not just today, but every day, 7 days a week. Keep rolling event to an event, thing to thing. Keep that calendar packed. Hey, so when you have so much free time, there is a lot of truth to that, right? So the negativity can creep in. Like he said, if you have white space on the calendar, which means you are not scheduled to do anything, go meet the devil, right? So keep a full calendar. Get things done long before they are required of you. Right? People who wait till the deadline all the time to get stuff done aren't really getting much done. Production creates motivation. When you get it done faster than you or anybody else thought you could get it done, you're going to be motivated. So get things done early. Don't wait. When you knock those things off your list, it will keep you motivated. Because here's the thing, when you have cycles that aren't closed, and when we talk about cycles, we're talking about anything that from start to finish, whether that's a goal, a task, a workout, whatever, right? When you're leaving cycles unfinished, you're leaving a little bit of a log jam in your mind. You can't move forward with other things because you're constantly worrying or thinking about those things that didn't quite get done yet. So let's close those cycles, get those things done long before they are required, right? So a couple of exercises with time management or controlling time. Take a second and in your own words, explain the difference between managing and controlling time, what that means to you. One other thing when it comes to time, every day I would recommend creating a daily battle plan. It's, treat it like going into battle every day. You want to be in that environment. You want to be kind of that kill what you eat environment. So what exactly do you need to get done today? Write it out every single morning. So the other piece of the exercise for controlling time is just that. What would your daily battle plan look like, right? And start doing that tomorrow. Or better yet, go ahead and just do it right now and then start fresh first thing in the morning as well. All right, part 4, self-esteem. Our culture has sometimes misportrayed self-esteem, making it something that's more given to us by others. But in reality, you create that self-esteem. That's really good news because that means you and only you are in charge of how you feel. So some things you can do to keep that self-esteem up. Be honest with everyone, especially yourself. have to get honest with yourself before you get honest with the rest of the world. So that could go back to talking about your potential and what you're capable of doing in 15 minutes. Those things we talked about already, right? What are the things that you need to do that would actually make you bigger, better, stronger, and more capable of providing for yourself, your family, and your business? Get honest with yourself. If you're late, don't blame it on traffic. You were late because you didn't leave soon enough, right? Be honest with yourself, and then being honest with others is going to be easy. So start with yourself. Next thing you can do is look for opportunities to help others. Look to help somebody every single day. Might be a pat on the back, might be making sure somebody has food, might just be helping somebody out with a work task. Can you make somebody smile today? Can you make somebody say, hey, thanks for going out of your way? It could be as simple as opening a door for somebody. Often that is enough to shift that mindset for you, right? So what you're trying to do is motivate yourself to feel better. And one of the best ways to do that is to help someone else. Next, overcommit. Overcommit to your family, overcommit to your clients, overcommit to your community. When you overcommit, you create this ethical obligation to deliver. And then when you do that, like we talked about earlier, you're going to be the most dependable person around. You can't back out now. You're overcommitted. And when you overcommit, creativity follows. Have you ever been in that situation where you think you might have bit off a little more than you can chew and creativity followed that and then you really ended up crushing it? It'll make you brilliant in the long run. So overcommit, make big claims, let people know that you're the best at what you do and you're going to deliver the best. Commit big and then deliver even bigger. Last thing with self-esteem, believe your personal value exceeds the value of your service or product or company, right? So know that what you bring to the game exceeds the value of your product or service. People want to do business with you. They want to be around you, not just your product or service. Be great. Be great as a dad, parent. Be great as a teacher. Be great with your church. Be great in everything you do. Make your personal value so big that people are saying, hey, I got to do business with this person. There is no other person I want to do business with, right? There's no question about it because your personal value exceeds the value of your product or service. So quick exercise. How can you take what we just talked about? Overcommitting, personal value, being honest with yourself. What are some ways that you could implement that in your life right now? Are there any behaviors you're doing right now that actually lower your self-esteem? If they are, let's make a list of them and let's cut them out. All right, part 5, staying energized. You're really only as good as your energy level, right, folks? So if you have the will but not the physical or mental stamina, you're going to fail flat out. So that's what we're going to talk about here, how to stay energized mentally and physically. So first thing to do with that is you got to be devoted to being in great physical, emotional, and spiritual condition. The greats in anything are devoted to being in great condition across all those things, right? Want to be in the best shape they can be in every way possible. You're not going to be great unless you have them all together. So what are you doing right now to be in great physical, emotional, and spiritual condition? One thing you could do is exercise every single day. I am super diligent about this. I do this really twice a day because I do weight training in the morning. I do cardio in the evening, and I also make sure I get 10,000 steps in every single day. That keeps my body healthy. It keeps me motivated. It gives me the energy I need to do everything else. We have to invest in ourselves, right? So invest in ourselves so we can invest in others. So exercise every single day. And then make sure you're watching your nutritional intake. Be energetic even when you don't feel it. Quit making excuses. There are always times where we're going to wake up. We're not going to feel it, right? But you got to be able to flip that switch. You got to be able to flip that switch and be energetic even when you don't feel it. So you want to be on a mission so you can be so energetic, so you can turn it on and just say, hey, let's do this. And that exercise and good nutrition will go a long way to making sure you have less of those times. The more I work out, the more I eat right, the less I have those times where it's like, man, I just don't feel the energy today. I have energy all the time now because I take care of myself physically every single day with my nutrition and my exercise. Next thing you can do to stay energized is to write down those successes you're having. Some of us have a tendency to just scoot right past on successes. And that's, I have a tendency to do that. Get something great done, move on to the next thing, right? But a good way to keep you energized is to write down those successes, celebrate those successes. Yeah, then move on to the next thing, but take time to write down those successes. Where are you making improvements? Where are things getting better? Where are you winning? Put it all down on paper, out of your head, down on paper. We're all having successes, but a lot of times we're not paying attention to all of them. So start writing those down. Next thing you could do, stay hungry. You want to make sure that you stay hungry and act hungry with every person you meet. Worst thing you can do is to suppress the idea that you want something. I know that, a lot of times we're taught growing up to don't be too extra on stuff like this, right? But we need to let everybody know we're different. We're 10X, right? So let them know you're hungry. Let them know what you want, want your business or whatever the case may be. I want to partner. I want to collaborate on this. That's how you're going to get more business. And that's how people are going to know that you are motivated. And then finally, you can, especially after you become a professional in your area, trust instinct, creativity, and passion to fuel you. Anybody that's been in their field a while and have had great success knows how to trust their instinct, creativity, and passion. So when you show up completely with everyone around you and then let that instinct, creativity, that brilliance come through, trust it. You've been successful in that area. There's a reason you're having that instinct. Right? So you get this by becoming completely committed to your profession. So, a couple things, exercises here at the end. Write down, take 2 or 3 minutes right now. Pause the show. Write down successes you're having in your life and in your work right now. And then second, what's one thing you need to adjust about your nutrition? One thing you need to take out, or one thing you need to put more in. So take some time, write those things down now. All right, part 8, goals. Not all goals are created equal. So in this section, we're going to go over how to use goals to motivate you, not discourage you. So first thing we can do is write down your goals first thing every day. Make that part of your morning routine. Write it all down. Not talking about a to-do list here. We're talking about goals, those big, giant 10X goals that drive you, the things you want most. If you don't have goals and if you're not focused on those goals every day, you're going to spend your whole life making somebody else's goals and dreams a reality. So if your goals are important to you, they're valuable to you, wake up in the morning, look at them, write them down every single day, and then do it again before you go to bed, right? If they are important to you, if they are valuable to you, they are worth looking at them at least twice a day. Next thing, identify what you are passionate about. Passions are different for every person. Make that list. Too many people on this planet are just taking whatever comes their way. They've given up. They're just whatever comes their way, they're going to do it. They're not striving toward anything. You ever seen, been around kids a lot? They have so much passion. They have so much drive that gets them excited. We as adults need to get some of that back. What gets you excited? What are you passionate about? Right? And then focus on the future, not the past. You want your attention on the future products, future customers, future opportunities, future solutions. If you look at all the people that have been great in anything they do, they're into the next play. They're into predicting what comes next. You want to make sure you're getting your attention out of the past, out of the present, and just a little bit ahead of where you are right now. And watch how motivated you will become because of that. And then 10X mindset in general, the whole premise behind 10X is taking your goals, right? What you think you want, and then multiplying those by 10Xing them, and then multiplying the activity, the actions you think you need to get that goal by 10 as well, because only massive action is going to be able to get you to those massive goals. Most people underestimate the amount of action it takes to actually reach your goal. So, take a moment right now and write down your goals. And then tomorrow morning when you wake up, let's write them down again. And before you go to bed, write them down again. Keep them in front of you. Know what you're striving for each and every day. Part 9, 10X. All right. By now, you've heard me talk about 10X a lot. Something about Grant Cardone. He's famous for 10Xing everything in his life. So in this section, we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can 10X your life for massive success, in addition to some of the stuff we've already talked about. First thing to do, hey, be a maniac at your career and life. We're always taught kind of calm down a little bit growing up, right? But telling you got to be a maniac. You got to be so passionate about your life and your career that you are going to go for it, because that's the only way you're going to have the motivation and drive to take those 10X actions. If you're going to get great things out of your business and out of your life, you're going to have to outwork everybody. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes, and then be willing to do the stuff that other people will not do. You don't have to trust your talent, but you can trust your effort. Trust that work ethic that shows up, does whatever it takes, goes the extra mile, doesn't quit when other people do. And you do that in every area of your life. It could make you a maniac, right? But that's what you want to be. Do so much that you're criticized for it. Just like earlier we talked about, get so much attention that you're garnering some haters and you're getting criticized for it. Do this in all areas. The society we live in right now can be anti-work and anti-effort sometimes. So when you start doing more, you're going to get criticized for it. Some people might say, hey, you got to take it easy, man. Why are you doing so much? Right? Stuff like that. That's when you know that you're on the right track, when people are telling you that stuff. Everybody is underestimating both their potential and the amount of effort it takes to get where they want. So do more than anyone else understands, and then take everything you do to another level. You're already doing more than everybody else. What can you do to take it up another notch, and then another notch, and 10X notches, right? So keep doing more than everyone else, more to where you're getting criticized for it, and then take that to another level. Stay around hitters and winners, just like we talked about with the mastermind and with mentors. You got to be around people that are winning. If you want to dominate your space, you have to be around other people that are winning. Go look for those people who find anything below extraordinary to be unacceptable. Surround yourself with the hitters, the winners, the strivers, the achievers, the champions. You're never going to hurt yourself by going bigger and better. Having those people around you are going to fuel you. So make that happen. Never compromise your potential for being satisfied. So greatness isn't achieved by settling for good enough or satisfied. Never compromise the potential to create, to be extraordinary, to do something significant and something big and giant. Don't settle for satisfied. You want excellent, extraordinary, great. Don't compromise it. Be true to yourself. It's going to keep you motivated if you're never satisfied. Don't let average people on this planet convince you to be satisfied. Never compare yourself to others or the past. Be motivated by what's next, by your growing potential, because as you're 10Xing, your potential is going to be expanding too, and so are your goals. And then finally, look at how things are possible rather than impossible. Rather than talking about what can't be done, flip it. How could it be done? How's this possible? What can we do to make it work? I say this a lot. This is a big change in mindset for most people. So instead of saying, no, it can't be done, it's impossible. Well, what can I do today to make it possible? If it was possible, how would we do it? Right? When you start asking these questions, that motivation is just going to flow, and that creativity is going to follow. So a couple of exercises. Make a list of people right now who you admire, who are the hitters and winners in your area. Pick one of them. Reach out to them today. Send a text, give them a call, shoot them an email, drop in and see them. Commit to reaching out to those people that could change your life, and just do it. And then name one thing you've written off as impossible. All right, one thing that could never happen in your business. What if it was possible? What would you need to do to make it happen? And what haven't you tried yet to make it happen? So let's do those things right now. Part 10, the final section of the 10X professional follow through. So this being our last section here, we need to talk about the need to not just start, to not just be motivated along the way, but to keep going until you cross the finish line, right? No matter what. That's where follow through comes in. So first thing you need to do, stay focused on the daily target. Just like you're going to have a lifetime target, a monthly target, annual target, you got to have a daily target. What do you need to accomplish today? Who do you need to contact today? What would make today a successful day? Are you tracking all your important statistics like we talked about earlier, right? Rather than focusing on the losses and the failures, stay focused on the daily target. What do you have to do today? What would make it a great day? And what can you do right now to control your day? Because today is what you can control, the here and the now. The thing with follow through that's helpful for a lot of people, because procrastination is a real thing for a lot of people and is fuel to negativity, quite frankly. So let's do the most difficult things first. That call you don't want to make, that customer you don't want to call, get in touch with, whatever. Do the things that are the most difficult first. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to do that most difficult thing first, and you're either going to crush it, and that's going to fuel you motivation-wise because you just knocked out that really difficult thing, and it wasn't that bad, and it actually turned out to be fantastic. Or maybe it turns out to be just as hard as you thought it was, and you didn't get what you wanted out of it. It's done, and you can move on to the rest of the stuff. So be willing to get your hands dirty. Don't just look for the easy stuff. Doing the tough stuff first builds discipline. So let's dig in, and that's how you can eventually accomplish the impossible. See problems as opportunities. The greats in any field see problems as opportunities. They don't see problems the way average people do. They seek problems. They actually go out and look for them. They look for the ones that other people avoid because that's where they know the opportunity is at. Problems are opportunities. Seek them out. Solve them, turn them to your advantage. Bring more to a presentation than you could ever use. I happen to do a lot of public speaking. I always make sure I have more content than I think I will ever need, because one of the quickest ways to kind of fall out of a presentation or lose control of an audience or lose risk confidence from an audience is not having enough content to go over. So bring more than you ever think you would use. Complete every task once started. Finish those cycles. Complete those cycles. Once you start something, finish it. One of the things that motivates a lot of people is knowing that they got a lot of stuff done. And when people leave stuff undone, leave cycles unfinished, like we talked about earlier, it lays heavy on the mind and it sucks the motivation right out of you. So once you start something, finish it. That way you can move on to the next thing with a free and open mind. Next thing, hey, make a list of contacts who would change your life. Similar to what we talked about earlier. Put together a list of the people that would absolutely change your life if you were able to spend some time with them. Write that list down, start calling them today. Focus on results, not efforts. Don't be interested in being busy. Be interested in productivity. Be interested in results. Measure productivity. Doesn't matter how busy you were if you didn't actually achieve the goal or get what you wanted, right? So we tend to lie to ourselves when we just think we're busy because that's what average people do. Great people in any field are productive and they never let themselves off the hook. They focus on the results of their efforts, not the efforts themselves. And finally, follow up relentlessly. Any field. If you're great, people follow up relentlessly. You have to have enough ways to follow up, though. You have to be consistent. You have to be creative in your follow-up. Part of finishing any deal is following up relentlessly because you care so much, because you got a great product or service, because you know you can make this person's life better, because you believe in yourself, your company, your product. That's what moves you above the average. That's what keeps you calling back, keeps you pressing in whatever deal you're trying to make. So exercises in follow-up. Think about your daily target. What would make it a great day? What do you have to see happen today that would make it a target worth achieving and make you feel good about your day? So what would make it a great day? Quite simply, what's your daily target and what would make it a great day? And then if you haven't done so already, when I said it a minute ago, who are your 5 people that would change your life if you were able to get in touch with them? Make sure you write those down now and start trying to get in touch with them. So in closing here, this is typically about a 3-hour training, and I did a little shortened version in here in just about an hour. But we still got through a lot of stuff. We went through a ton of info, dozens of ways to get motivated, how to be 10x, right? So your goal here is not to try all these things necessarily right now, but to just pick a few and put it into action immediately. Remember a few of the things we hit. You can do way more than you think you can. Only you know your true capacity. Action beats non-action anytime. Set strong goals, keep them in front of you, go the extra mile, work hard, be early, do more than everybody else. Preserve your energy, your positivity, and your mindset. Align yourself with others who share your attitudes and your goals. Grant talks a lot about how it's actually really easy to be extraordinary simply because everyone else is satisfied with mediocrity. If you put just 1, 2, or 3 of these ideas into practice and do it consistently, you'll see yourself rise far above everyone else. And that is going to keep your momentum and your motivation going. Don't just do it one day, do it over and over again. Commit to one thing you can implement consistently rather than trying, everything we talked about today and giving up in a day or two. Start with a few and then add a few more. That's how momentum is created. And then connect to the bigger picture structure of training. As we talked toward the beginning, momentum and motivation are the fuel, but you also need to refine your skills. Good news is, when you're motivated, everything else will become so much easier. We've got other courses to assist you in handling anything you need, strategy-wise, motivation, to help you with your personal and professional and financial goals. And we can certainly help you out with that at Big Dog Coachings.
Hope that helps. We'll be back after the break. Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hey, don't forget, while you're out on social, check ours out. You can check my personal one out at Robert Ferriell, at everywhere. Check out those Elevate Springfield pages, those Big Dog Business Coaching pages as well. Check us out over on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, give us a like or a follow on any of those channels. We would certainly appreciate it. So hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great. Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agents, here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343.